Hello students. Now we will discuss how the hazardous waste is treated, that is treatment of hazardous waste. So as it is a hazardous waste, treating of this is very essential before disposal to the final disposal site. So before disposing it, the hazardous waste is needed to or it is needed appropriate treatment depending upon the type of the waste. So various options of hazardous waste treatment can be classified into physical, chemical, thermal and biological treatments. So we'll discuss one by one physical and chemical treatment. So here physical and chemical treatments are essential part of most of the hazardous waste treatment operations, and the treatments include first one is the filtration and separation. So filtration is a method of separating solid particles from a liquid using a porous medium. So this is a common definition. Filtration, everyone can see what is filtration in day-to-day life. To understand, you can take example of a tea, right? So filtration is a method of separating solid particles. So here solid particles will be retained on the medium which we are using as a filter medium, and the liquid will pass, the clear liquid will pass down, so that through a porous medium. So that is called as the filtration. So the driving force in filtration is a pressure gradient which is caused by gravity or centrifugal force, vacuum, or the pressure greater than the atmospheric pressure. So these are the reasons why the liquid will flow. Then the application of filtration for treatment of hazardous waste fall into different categories like clarification and dewatering. So what is clarification? So here in clarification, the suspended solid particles that are usually 100 ppm, that is parts per million. So the suspended solid particles, if they are less than 100 ppm concentration, they are removed from the aqueous stream, that is liquid. So this is usually accomplished by depth filtration and cross flow filtration. And what is the primary aim is to produce a clear aqueous effluents which can be discharged directly or further which are processed. So the suspended solids are concentrated in a reject stream. So this is how the clarification is carried out. Then what is dewatering? So dewatering of slurries of typically 1% to 30% solids by weight. So here the concentrate the solid into a phase or a solid form for a disposal or further treatment. So this is usually accomplished by cake filtration. So in cake filtration, what happens is the whatever slurry we are pouring, so that it contains whatever the solid particles, they will retain on the top, and that forms a layer, that is cake. So through that the again liquid will pass. So that is cake filtration. So the filtration treatment, for example, that can be used for neutralization of strong acids with lime or limestone, or the precipitation of dissolved heavy metals like carbonates or sulfides, which are followed by settling and thickening of the resulting precipitated solids as a slurry. Then this slurry can be dewatered by cake filtration, and whatever effluents are formed, the settling step, after the settling step, they can be filtered by depth filtration prior to the discharge. So this is how the clarification and dewatering takes place. Then we'll move on to the next method, that is chemical precipitation. So this is a process by which the soluble substance is converted to an insoluble form, either by chemical reaction or by change in the composition of the solvent to diminish the solubility of the substance in it. So that is what is done in chemical precipitation. So this is a process by which the soluble substance is converted to insoluble form, either by a chemical reaction or by change in the composition of the solvents, so to diminish the solubility of the substance in it. So that is done in chemical precipitation. So settling or filtration can then remove the precipitated solids. Whatever liquid is settled down, at the bottom you can find the layer, that is the solid particles will settle down. So that is settling or even filtration, as we discussed above, that can remove the precipitated solids. So in the treatment of hazardous waste, the process has a wide applicability in the removal of toxic metal from aqueous waste by converting them into insoluble form. So this includes the waste which is containing arsenic, barium, cadmium, like heavy metals like copper, lead, mercury, nickel, selenium, silver, thallium and zinc. So these all are the heavy metals which are present in the sediments, and they can be easily removed by settling, because they are called as heavy because they are having high density, so they will settle down easily. So the source of the waste containing metals, they are metal plating and polishing, inorganic pigments, mining and electronic industries. So these are all the sources for heavy metals. So hazardous waste that contain metals, they are also generated from the cleanup of uncontrolled hazardous waste site, and for example the leachate or contaminated groundwater. So these are all the sources for the heavy metals, and they can be removed by chemical precipitation. Then next one is chemical oxidation and reduction. So this is called as redox. So in these reactions, the oxidation state of one reactant is raised while that of the other reactant is lowered. So one reactant, the oxidation is raised, and other reactant, the oxidation is lowered. So when electrons are removed from an ion or atom or a molecule, the substance is oxidized, and when the electrons are added to a substance, it is reduced. So when the reduction and oxidation is done, so it depends upon the electrons. So when the electrons are removed from an ion, then the substance is oxidized, and when the electron is added to the substance, then it is called as reduction, or it is reduced. So such reactions are used in the treatment of metal bearing waste like sulfides, cyanides, chromium, okay, and in the treatment of many organic wastes such as phenols, pesticides and sulfur containing compounds. So for the treatment of such waste, this method of chemical oxidation and reduction is preferred. So since these treatment processes involve chemical reactions also, so both the reactants are generally in solution, and in some cases a solution reacts with a slightly soluble solids or gases. So some of the commonly used oxidizing agents are sodium hypochlorite, then hydrogen peroxide, calcium hypochlorite, potassium permanganate, and ozone. So these are commonly used oxidizing agents. And which are the reducing agents used? So to treat the waste containing the hexavalent chromium, mercury, organometallic compounds, and chillate metals. So all these are used as the reducing agent. So these are oxidation and reduction, chemical oxidation and reduction. Then the next way of treating this is solidification and stabilization. So in hazardous waste management, solidification and stabilization is a term that is normally used to designate a technology which is employing the activities to reduce the mobility of pollutants. So this is very important. So these are the treatment processes which are designed to improve the waste handling and physical characteristics, decrease the surface area across which the pollutants can transfer, or they can leach, or limit the solubility, or detoxify the hazardous constituents. So to understand this technology, it is important for us to understand some terms, that is, what is solidification and stabilization. Let us understand. So solidification means this refers to a process in which the materials are added to the waste to produce a solid. So here some materials are added to the waste so that the solid material is formed. So it may or may not involve a chemical bonding between the toxic contaminants and the additive. So these are called as solidification. Then what is stabilization? So this refers to a process by which a waste is converted to more chemically stable form. So it is called as stabilization. So the whatever waste is present, that is converted to a more chemically stable form, that is called as stabilization. So solidification or stabilization, it represents the use of some chemical reactions to transform the toxic components to a new or non-toxic compounds or substances. So that is called as stabilization and solidification. Then next is evaporation. So we all know what is evaporation. So evaporation is defined as the conversion of a liquid from a solution to a slurry into vapor. So liquid to vapor is called as evaporation. So all the evaporation systems, they require the transfer of sufficient heat from a heating medium to the process fluid to vaporize the volatile solvents. So whatever solvents, whatever volatile compounds are present, so they become or they undergo evaporation. So they require some heat, then only the evaporation is possible. So evaporation is used in the treatment of hazardous waste, and the process equipment is quite flexible and can handle the waste in various forms like aqueous, slurries, sludges, and tars. So evaporation is commonly used as a pre-treatment method to decrease the quantity of material for final treatment. So that is called as evaporation. Then next is ozonation. So ozone is relatively unstable gas which consists of 3 oxygen atoms, that is O3. So per molecule of oxygen has 3 atoms. So that is, and it is one of the strongest oxidizing agent known. So it can be substituted for conventional oxidants such as chlorine, hydrogen peroxide, and potassium permanganate. Then ozone and UV radiations, they have been used to detoxify the industrial organic wastes containing aromatic and aliphatic polychlorinated compounds, ketones, and alcohol. So these all, they have been used to detoxify these elements. The ozone is used, so that is called as ozonation. Then the thermal treatment, which we have studied, that the two main thermal treatments are incineration and pyrolysis. So incineration can be defined as it is considered as a pre-treatment of hazardous waste prior to the final disposal into the landfills or it is incineration is what, the burning of the waste with the in the presence of oxygen. So that is called as incineration. And pyrolysis is what, this is defined as the chemical decomposition or the changes which are brought about by heating in the absence of oxygen. That is the major difference between incineration and pyrolysis. Both are burning, but in incineration the burning is in the presence of oxygen and pyrolysis is without oxygen because of the chemical decomposition. The wastes are heated up and that is called as pyrolysis. So this is a thermal process, that is pyrolysis is a thermal process for transformation of solid and liquid carbonaceous materials into gaseous components and the solid residue which is containing fixed carbon and ash. So these are the byproducts, fixed carbon and ash containing residue. That is the product, final product of pyrolysis. So these are all the methods which are used for the treatment, that is physical and chemical treatment. Next is biological treatment. So on the basis of the fact that the hazardous materials are toxic to the living beings, so it is not uncommon for some to assume that the biological treatment is not possible for hazardous waste. So this assumption is not true. In fact, we must aggressively seek the biological treatment in order to exploit the full potential of hazardous waste in terms of removal efficiency and even the cost. So here there are again different treatments which come under biological treatment. The first one is land treatment. So this is a waste treatment and disposal process where a waste is mixed with or incorporated in the surface soil and it is degraded and it is transformed or immobilized through the proper management. So it is what here the land treatment. So land means it is added into the soil. So this is a waste treatment and disposal process where the waste is mixed or it is incorporated into the surface soil and it is degraded. It is allowed to undergo degradation and it is transformed into immobilized through a proper management. So the other terminologies which are commonly used, they include land cultivation, land farming, land application and sludge spreading. So these are other terms for land treatment. So compared to landfill, the surface impoundment land treatment, it has lower long-term monitoring maintenance and potential cleanup liabilities, and because of this it has received considerable attention as an ultimate disposal method. So this is an ultimate disposal method. Compared to landfill, it is more convenient method. So in land treatment, the organic fraction that must be biodegradable at reasonable rates to minimize the environmental problem which are associated with the migration of hazardous waste constituents. So the various factors that involve in the operation system, they are like waste characteristics, soil characteristics, microorganism and waste degradation. So these are all the various factors which are involved in the operation of land treatment. Then the next way is composting. So we have discussed in detail about composting. So the principles involved in composting organic hazardous waste are the same as those in composting of all the organic materials, through which the moderate modification the principle which is involved in composting the organic hazardous waste, they are the same as those in composting of all the organic materials, though with moderate modification. So here with few modifications these can be treated hazardous waste. So the microbiology of hazardous waste, it differs from that of the composting of normal biodegradable waste. So here in the use of inoculums, so the reaction is that certain types of hazardous waste molecules, they can be degraded by only one or a very few microbial species which may not be widely distributed or abundant in nature. So we need specific microbial species for the treatment of hazardous waste. The factors important in composting of hazardous waste are those that govern all the biological reactions. The principal physical parameters are the shape and dimension of the particles of the materials to be decomposed, and the environmental factors of interest in an operation are temperature, pH, available oxygen, moisture and nutrient availability. So all these factors are they play a important role. They are the principal physical parameters. So the compost technology can be divided into two broad classes, like windrow, that is open pile, and in vessel, that is in the closed. So this we have discussed in composting, what is windrow composting and in vessel composting. So these are all the various treatment methods for hazardous waste. Then last point is the disposal of the hazardous waste. So regardless of their form, that is whether it is a solid, liquid or a gas, most of the hazardous waste is disposed of either near the surface or by deep burial. So this table here, it shows various hazardous waste disposal methods. So here the different methods are given. So the operation or the process includes deep well injection, detonation, engineered storage, land burial and ocean dumping. So these are all the processes which are used for the disposal. Then which all the functions performed. So function performs, DI stands for disposal and ST stands for storage So if you are going for deep well injection, the function performed is disposal. And the type of waste, so which all type of waste can be disposed of, that is given here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So what is 1 here? The inorganic chemicals without heavy metals, inorganic chemicals with heavy metals, inorganic chemicals without heavy metals, that is organic chemicals with heavy metals. Then radiological, that is radioactive waste, biological waste, flammable. So these can be uh, uh, disposed in the deep well injection way. Then the forms of the waste, that is L stands for liquid, solid and gas. So deep well injections, they are usually liquid. So this is how the different types of wastes are disposed of, that is hazardous waste disposed of. So these are all this is all about the hazardous waste. So we have discussed what is definition, then how it is stored, then what are the different treatment methods, and finally how it is disposed of. So these are all the different methods of disposal and treatment of the hazardous waste.